Hello everybody, Mr. Sticksman here, and welcome back to Stormworks. We are working towards a $10 million cargo haul, but we can't do that without making $2 million first to buy the cargo. So today, we're starting a setup mission to make that $2 million. However, even this setup mission is going to be an epic adventure, so it has to be split up into 3 parts, guys. This is part 1. Enjoy. Today is a special day because finally, it is time. We are ready to take out our brand new boat on its maiden voyage. I've been working really hard on this over the last couple of days, and you'll see that it has transformed. There's a lot of new features, a lot of new technology on board. Anyway, we'll have a chat about that stuff when we get going. Let's go and fill the tank up with diesel and get underway. So we'll just come out the door here, jump on shore, and grab our fuel hose. Okay, so we'll just put it into the in point here, pump it in, and we can see that, yeah, the level is increasing. That'll go up to about 9,700 litres. I have actually increased the size of our diesel tank a bit, so we should be able to go a bit further. We might as well have a look at the map actually and just see what the general plan is. Right then, so this is where we are right now at North Harbour, but let's talk about our entire game plan for this mission. So we're starting here. This is where our boat is currently moored up against the dock. Now, if we zoom out here, we can see our first destination, and that is an oil rig. Now, the reason why we're going here first is because we're going to buy some oil, okay? And we're not buying a lot, but we're going to buy a bit. We will make profit on it in this mission, but at the same time, it's really just to test our tanks, our systems, make sure the boat is working properly. And then from the rig here on the left hand side of the screen, we're going to go down to this island and actually sell the oil that we just bought. So we're going to make some profit on that, and again, just check that, you know, we can actually sell fluid out of our tanks, make sure they all work properly. But at the same time here, we can buy some diesel, okay, so that we can refill our diesel tanks right to the top and ensure that we don't ever run out of fuel on this mission. And then, of course, the main reason why we're doing this mission at all is that we're going to be buying some jet fuel. And we need to buy about 75,000 litres, so we're going to spend around $300,000 on jet fuel in this setup mission. And then we're going to sell it, hopefully, for around $2 million right at the end of the mission. So if I zoom out here, it's quite a long way northwest now. So we start here with our jet fuel, and we're going to go all the way up over here and sell it over there. And at that point, we've kind of done our setup mission, then we just go home again, alright? And we're back where we are right now. The plan for today, however, is just to get from here over to the oil rig. That is our mission just in today's video, part 1 of the setup mission. Now we are full of diesel, so, and look, there's my indicator telling us the tank is full, so let's just get our hose and I'll put it back on shore because we won't need that for a while now. I'm going to jump on board, just turn off our pump there so we don't waste any extra fuel, head into the bridge, and, well, ideally get going. Now, here's the helm. So, I do have bow thrusters, as you may have seen in the last episode. These are operated by the 2 arrows here. So, our left bow thruster is going to thrust it left, hopefully. Okay, I think we might have hit something. Are we against the shore? Maybe the dock. Yes, we are. Okay. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a tricky maneuver, but luckily they've got tyres and we've got tyres as well, so we should have some fenders to protect ourselves. That's alright, these things are designed to make contact with stuff on the side. Anyway, what I'm going to do then is actually reverse out a bit, because we have fluid jets which can reverse very, very well, pretty much right to the side. So what I'm going to do is actually start the generators to begin with. And I apologise for that awful racket, that noise. Something weird happens every time I start up 4 engines in one go. But they're running now, our generators are on. That means we can use our electric motors, and if I just put it into reverse, like this, with that button there. Also, I've got a reverse camera, which you can see up there, which is pretty handy. And all I'm going to do is hold down the right direction to kick our stern out to port side left. And I'm going to just apply a bit of throttle there, and not too much because the bow's going to kick in at the same time, so we've got to be very careful. And as you can see, we are actually moving back now. Okay, so let's just use a bit of the bow thruster as well, actually, and we'll try and sort of sidestep out, sort of strafe left, if you know what I mean. If that's at all possible. The bow thrusters are not very strong. They move it pretty well actually, but they take a bit, you know, just to get it moving. Now I'm actually going to go and run out the side here. Okay, we're getting pretty close to the shore, so now is time to stop reversing and perhaps just go forwards a bit, which we are now doing. Okay, I'm just going to take off the forwards thrust there. It's nice and early in the morning, and now we're facing outwards. Let's go, let's get away. Just turn off that camera there. Let's get away from the shore as quickly as possible. Hold the bow thruster on. The wind is picking up, the waves are picking up, but I think the wind is actually going left, or where is that? Sort of north or something? No, south, I think. Anyway, we're going in the right direction anyway, because we're sort of going east today. Maybe a little bit more southeast, I suppose. Yes, we're clear. We're clear of the land, sort of. We have to be careful. If that wind changes direction, we could be swept right back into the banks here very easily, especially as it's quite a large boat this, you know, it catches the wind easily. There's our speed, by the way, 6.2 knots at the moment, and we have a depth of 15 meters there, and as you can see we're heading sort of almost east really. Now we'll go over all of these other features when we get time, but yeah, let's get the job done properly at the same time. Now how's our battery doing? 99%. We are losing a bit of power, so let's just increase that throttle a bit. I'm not worried about going too fast at the moment. These I have done some testing on this, by the way. These electric motors and fluid jets are seriously powerful. I've got 4 of them down there. They are so strong. This thing goes really quick, but we're not going to be going anywhere near full power today because it really drains the electricity and the diesel. This is working really well so far, isn't it? Nice and quiet as well. That's perfect speed. Let's just check our generator. We're still losing a bit of power there because we've increased our forward power. So let's just maybe go up to 24 is our generator there. There's the fuel gauge as well. We're going to keep an eye on that today. But don't worry, because of course we can refuel when we get over to the refinery, so it doesn't matter too much, but we do want to save as much fuel as possible. Power is still going down, so you know we're only on a quarter throttle here, and the most power is actually gained at higher throttle. It ramps up a lot, is what I mean by that. 29% throttle is good at the moment. There we go. Electrics are increasing. Now we can probably actually turn off the interior lights. It's a bit dark actually, isn't it? We can see very clearly out here. We are going to have to go underneath the train tracks in a minute, which will be very interesting. 6.4 knots at the moment. Oh wow, that's a bit shallow, isn't it? There, 10 meters. I suppose it's quite a long way down still, but let's be careful. I might as well put these lights back on. Here is a view from back. That's where we've just come from. Really nice and calm at the moment. The waves have actually sort of gone away, haven't they? There's only a couple of white horses there, very small ones. For the most part, they've gone. There are the streams from the 4 fluid jets down there. And actually, that there is a new tow hook which I've made at the back. Just one of the many, probably hundreds of little features and additions that I've added to this thing since the last episode. There's our reverse camera, a whole stack of equipment up there as well, some of which is not actually working yet because this barge, or tanker maybe I should call it now, is still a work in progress, but it's kind of fully ready. Did that thing just move? That monitor just moved, guys, or was that just me thinking that? I don't know, I'm a bit scared now. I'm just thinking, what's going on? We're sort of going very carefully towards our train tracks, but what we want to do, I suppose, is kind of go head on into them to get the best, advantage of the width of those pillars there, if you know what I mean. So maybe we should just go a little bit left, and then we'll turn back to the starboard side, just so we can go head on with it. We don't want to bump into anything, that's for sure. How's our battery doing? That's increasing nicely. Yep, just very gradually increasing there, so that's very cool. And we've got, look at that, guys, that fuel consumption is pretty good, I have to say. Considering how big we are, we're doing 6.5 knots nearly, and we're only using a relatively small amount of diesel at the moment. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. Let's go and have a look round, shall we, outside on the deck. Oh, nice and bright now. Glorious weather, guys. Glorious weather. I bet you in like an hour's time it's going to be thunderstorms and 20-foot waves. That's usually the way it goes, isn't it, in Stormworks? But we'll enjoy it, you know, whether it is ridiculous conditions or, you know, lovely conditions. Now here are the new air intakes, actually. So somebody suggested, and thank you very much for that, suggested to put the air intakes onto the smokestacks or the funnels here. So that is what I've done. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's a really cool place. I don't know like how realistic that is, but I really do enjoy that. So thank you for that suggestion. We've got some grab handles around here as well, so you know you can sort of hold on. And we've got even under-stair lighting as well, guys, for when it gets a bit darker as well. And back here there isn't actually that much. I think the only new things I've done here are this sort of tow hook design. I've also got another one lower down so people can attach from other boats at a lower height, which is quite interesting. And I've also just cut a V into the stern as well, a bit like we have on the bow. Same staircase on the other side. I think I've added a few more of these warning paint markings around on a few extra places. Now these things here are holding equipment, so again I've got a player sensor there which detects when we get close, and yes, we are getting close to train tracks, so we'll head up into the bridge in a minute. But this light comes on when you're just in close proximity to it, basically. And we've got some diving equipment actually over here, so deep sea diving gear, and also we've got, you know, underwater welding torches, oxygen masks, flares and stuff like that. But let's head up because yeah, we're getting a bit close now, aren't we? There we go. We'll just take, I think we'll just take this one, right? Actually no, that one's wider. It looks like this one is wider, so let's go just over here. Nice. Now, yep, still maintaining 6.4 knots probably. We just lost a bit while we turned there. Depth is 11 meters. We're very, very flat on the hull, so you know, there's not really much to worry about. We don't really have to think about grounding too much unless we're going into really small, tight spaces. I'll leave those doors open just in case we have to quickly run outside and do something. We've got a clock up here as well. That's 10 past 11 in the morning at the moment. As we edge closer, I swear this is moving, guys. Hang on a minute. It is moving. Look at that. Did you see that, guys? When I go onto the helm, it moves down, I think. It does, look. Whenever I get... Now, these are not related at all. The helm has no connection to that, apart from maybe the electrics, which all go back to the battery. So, look at that. If I get off the helm here, it moves up. Then I get on and it moves down. Okay, that's very strange. Either I've done something wrong there or it's a bug. It's probably a bug, actually, because I can't think of any connection. All I've got here is the horns, actually. As you can see if I press number 1. Not very loud, but hopefully you can hear that anyway. I just fired off the horns. Now we're about to go under the train tracks, under the crossing there. The reason why I might split this setup mission into parts is because, you know, I want to enjoy this trip and I don't want to skip a lot of it. So we're going to have a lot of it in this video, and it would just be, you know, probably like 4 hours long or something if I did the whole thing in one video. So I want to take my time with it and enjoy it, and hopefully show you guys most of the entire process. Okay, and the bow is just about to go underneath those tracks. Let's have a look. We see from... Oh, I just hit my head on the light. I spent like 3 hours on those spotlights alone. I'm not even joking about that. I spent like 3 hours on them. Like, down to the finest detail. And there we go, the shadow is... Yes! Yeah, that's it. We're clear. I think everything's safe. Yep, seems to be. Loads of room on either side. Let's go up here onto the catwalk. Look at that. Now, we just want to head over there, actually. So let's go and turn. Let's go and turn right a bit to the starboard side. That's it. Just edge around towards east. Then go a bit beyond that if we can. But of course, there is some headland over there, which we have to go around first. So Be careful of that. These fluid jets turn very, very well. And as you might notice, I'm actually doing most of this in first person mode. We can still use third person. But yeah, I just, might as well enjoy this in first person if we can, for the most part. I'm worried about that monitor, guys, because what if it glitches out and damages something? You know what this game's like. We know what can happen in Stormworks when physics goes crazy. It can destroy entire missions. I mean, that monitor, that one pivot there, could be the end of this whole mission. It could sink our boat, and that's the crazy thing. We have to be very careful about that. Right, we're heading in a good direction here. Just a bit, yeah, a bit south of east. That's good. And we'll just check the fuel. There we go. Oh, plenty. We've used about, I don't know, like 600 litres or something at the moment. So that's good. We can go a lot faster, but I just don't think it's a very good idea. And I'm not bothered about going fast. I'm really not bothered in this vehicle, in this boat. Let's go and have a look around then, shall we? So yeah, first of all, we come back to our fueling station here, and down here I've now got some extra storage. So we have, a rope, a cable and a hose in there. Very simple, but that's sort of protected from the wind and the waves. We've got a fire extinguisher, welding torch and flashlight in there. All the stuff that we may well need. A lot of you guys have been suggesting to me to have yellow because it goes well with the blue, which I agree, it does go well with the blue actually, and I just couldn't settle on something that I liked. But in the end I thought, why don't I include it into sort of warning markings and stuff like that, like the lettering on the tanks and the markings here to warn you that there's a slope that you have to go up and down. So I just thought I'd expand on the markings on the floor and maybe put them on some of the railings as well, and I found that is a good balance actually. So we can get this, and this is more of a custom yellow. It's actually more of a yellowy gold as I sort of see it. I made that as a custom colour, which I've used on other vehicles as well in Season 1 maybe, and definitely, so yeah, Season 1 and 2 I've used this quite a lot, and I really, really like that. So yeah, that's a really good addition, I think, and it does add viewer suggestions as well. We've also got jet here on this side of each tank in this yellowy gold, and also on the other side, I can't get underneath, but we have 128, which just stands for 128,000 litres we can get in each of these tanks. Up here, now this is where we're going to be doing most of our work when we're at the refinery or selling fuel. And is everything okay? I don't think we're quite shallow actually, isn't it, guys? Look how shallow that is. That's probably about 10 meters maybe. Yeah, we'll have to have to be careful of that. Anyway, yeah, we've got this winch up here with a bit of a control station. They're the pumps, same as before. And we've got some extra, ropes, cables and hoses there. This adapter, we need this adapter, guys. There's a lot of problems I found through testing this, which I'll talk about probably as we get to use it. But I've got this adapter here for a special reason. And I'll tell you what, these winches have really annoyed me. But it should work fine. If we just do things properly, according to Stormworks, everything should be okay. Now, what's next? Over here, I have actually put the hatches back on the side. We'll have a look in that at some point. But also on the other side, I've now got these extra kind of fluid anchors which go down straight into the tank. So just in case, all else fails and we can't use this for whatever reason, we can actually use this. And what else is interesting is that we can actually, if we had, for example, diesel in one of these big tanks, we can even refill our generator tanks down where the engines are with these tanks. That's quite cool, I think. Yeah, and for example, we could use this anchor right here, connect it right up to our inlet, and then refill our generator tanks like that. Really nice and simple, and very, very useful. Also, guys, now you can't see it from here, and look at that. I didn't realise the smoke is actually coming out the stacks there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you can't see it from here, but just down below me, in one of these tyres, I had a really, really cool suggestion. It's quite a fun idea, and I thought I'd definitely put it in. So thank you to your suggestion, and I'll try and show you a clip of what that is right now. Okay, I'm just going to check our heading, guys. We're going to head back into the bridge, just make sure that we're not going in the wrong direction. Yeah, it's pretty good actually. We're just heading sort of to the left of that headland, and then we'll go south from there a little bit more. So let's head. That's it. That's good. Right, bang on. That's perfect. We'll just go in that direction for now. I've also got lots of new lighting along the catwalk here and under stair lighting, which you can just see down there as well. But how calm is this, guys? It's really calm and peaceful over here. I suppose the sun is that going down now? It might be going down, unfortunately. Yes, it might get a bit dark later. I have got a bed, by the way. I haven't finished this thing, as I say, so there's a lot to do, but I have put a bed on just sort of in the middle of nowhere in the hole, so we can sleep if we need to. As you might notice, actually, I've taken out a lot of weight from the stern. I've also added quite a lot as well. Oh, look at that, guys. There's a helicopter. Now, I need to talk about that. Right, what I've done is I've had to do this. I've had to make a new world, okay? But it's exactly the same as the old world, and we own the exact same amount of islands, no more, no less, and we have the exact same amount of money right down to the last dollar. So there's no difference apart from a couple of things, okay? So first of all, any crates that we found on islands or land in the past will either respawn or they won't be there anymore. They'll spawn somewhere else, which can't really help that as far as I know. The other thing is all of the fuel tanks on our islands are back up to the maximum level again. There might be a way of deleting that, but I couldn't find it in the game files, so I've had to actually leave that. And yes, the sun is going down, guys, so we're going to put our lights on soon, and we'll get to see those. But the benefit of having to restart, and by the way, guys, the reason why I restarted, the main reason, and there's actually a few reasons, and it's pretty cool. Let's get the binoculars out to see that. There it is. Helicopter over there in the distance. That will land somewhere and then carry on probably. Yeah, do you remember we had an issue when we were flying our quadcopter, and there's the oil rig. So let's actually go slightly to port side. We're going to change our heading and go over there now. And I'm going to close this door as well. Yeah, we had a problem, which you might well remember, where we were getting infinity money. Okay, and the game was basically giving us like constant income when we went into the area of certain buy or sell points for well, diesel, for example, and I think it actually did it in 2 places around the map. So I thought, if I restart, make a new world exactly the same like I've done here, we might get rid of that issue, and therefore we don't have to get infinity money anymore. And so that's what I did. Now, I don't know if that's actually going to help. Let's put some of our lights on. I've got nav lights here. Where are the nav lights? There they are. There we go, guys. You can see our nav lights on that on top of the bridge there. Red, green, and white for the stern-facing one as well. Really, really nice. And the waves are picking up. The wind is picking up again, but we're heading straight for the oil platform. But anyway, yeah, the seed is exactly the same. The world is exactly the same because I've checked it. I wouldn't have done it without checking thoroughly first. And all of the buy and sell prices for the fluids are exactly the same. All of the islands are exactly the same. You know, the only differences I can think of would be loot crates might be a bit different, and also the refilling of the diesel and fuel tanks around the map. Which doesn't really matter anymore because, you know, very soon we're going to be making $10 million in one go properly. So, you know, just refilling up that those tanks won't actually have much of an effect. Money just won't be an object anymore. We can just buy everything and it doesn't matter. So, anyway, now performance. I do get a bit of a performance hit when I turn the lights on, okay? So I'm going to do it, but we might just want to be careful of that. Let's try and put the stairwell lights on here, just at least for a moment or two. And we'll have a go with the spotlights as well in a minute. Oh no, wait, that spotlight has moved. I think I moved that. Look at that. That is good, guys. I'll talk about those in a minute, but first of all, let's have a look. We have deck, stair and catwalk lights over there, look. Orange or yellowy ones as well. And again, I didn't go overboard on these because of the potential performance hit, but it runs pretty well actually with those. So that's quite nice. And I have got some up here for the winch as well. If we just turn those on. Got bow winch lights just over here. There we go. So there's those two. Really nice, I thought. You know, they do have an effect. They'd be brighter if they were white. But I thought it'd be quite nice to have that sort of orangey yellow instead for a change. We'll turn those off for now because, yeah, we do want to be careful with our frames. And we'll just turn a little bit more towards this oil platform here. How fast are we going? 6.5 knots. There's our fuel, 8,500 litres. So we've used about 1,200 litres at the moment. Now, over here, I've actually got a gimbal camera. Now, this is crazy, guys. I didn't realise quite how expensive those... It's not just the ordinary gimbal camera one, it's the one with the laser sensor on and like auto tracking, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called, but it costs $50,000, just one camera. So that's the one I've chosen anyway, and is right on top here. I've only got it sort of limited functionality at the moment, but we can turn it on. Gimbal camera, there we go. But what's cool about it is I've set it up with night vision mode, so we can use it to our advantage potentially on a really nice big screen here. And it's pretty bright over there at the moment because the sun is still setting, but when it's completely dark, that's going to be really, really helpful, I think, when we're approaching places at night time. Anyway, we'll turn that off for now, but that's pretty cool. And I'm going to have it moving. I haven't got it moving yet, because I'm going to have to set up a way of switching WNS controls from the wing lights, the wing spotlights, over to this gimbal camera. Anyway, we'll turn that off for now. As you can see over here, yeah, I've got these spotlights on the wings of the bridge, and I hope you can see that, guys, but they move really well. I've made some custom arms for them, and if I just turn that one on, for example, check that out. Look, we've got really good illumination all over the deck. That's really, really cool. It's so dark now, isn't it? It's the moon. But actually, I've set it up so the nighttime, it does last a bit, but daytime is like 2/3 of the day and nighttime is 1/3, so it shouldn't be too bad that the moon is already quite high up. So it should be daytime in the near future, hopefully. There's our oil rig just over there, look. We're actually going to have to turn to starboard a little bit here. The wind is blowing us port side left at the moment, so I think that's why we're not quite going in a straight line the whole time. Be careful, there we go. We're heading straight for the oil rig. Those spotlights are really cool, and I've also got this monitor here, which we can also use that, and there's a camera that goes exactly in line with the spotlight as well, so we can see everything. And there we can see the rig on the monitor as well now. Those lights have just spawned in, or they've just turned them on anyway. Someone over there has turned on their lights. So that's really, really cool. And this button here actually switches to the other camera. Okay, so now we're looking at the camera and the spotlight, which is over on the other side of the boat. It's that one over there, which I can move with up, down, left, right controls instead. So, and as you can see, if I go back to the monitor there, that's moving that one, and then we can switch over, and then we're sort of controlling the other one just over here again. So I thought that was a really, really cool system. Really, really fun to make that was. But yeah, I did spend like 3 hours on it. It took me a long time. I've even limited like how much it can like look down and look to the side, so it doesn't sort of glitch into anything on the boat and blow up, because I literally destroyed like most of this bridge when I was testing these lights just by moving it right too far. Everything broke. Everything smashed to pieces. That's really cool. Check that out. I wonder if there's a helicopter on there. Actually, on the rig there might be. But we can see their nav lights nice and clearly. So we're going to have to sort of navigate to the right location. I don't know where the actual like buy point for the oil is. We'll have to perhaps look with our gimbal camera when we get a bit closer. Okay, now over here we've got anchor controls, and I have redesigned the anchor. That was another suggestion from a viewer to redesign the anchor. Now, if you're listening, I thank you for your instructions. They were really, really cool, and it's such a cool idea. I'm not sure, I probably haven't actually done exactly what you were suggesting, because I couldn't quite understand it fully, but it gave me a really good idea, and I tried to sort of follow your instructions as best as I could and indent the anchors into the sides of the hull a bit. So maybe I have done the right thing, maybe I haven't, but either way it's gone pretty well. And I've also changed the anchors down to the 20-meter ones and not the 100-meter ones, so that they would look a bit more neat and tidy. Basically they should be deep enough. Yeah, like we couldn't anchor here, for example, 65 meters, but we should be able to anchor easily outside the island where we sell jet fuel, so that's good. Perhaps I might need to go back to the 100-meter ones, because we might want to anchor outside this oil rig at some point in the future. I didn't actually think about that. Anyway, we'll just use our binoculars here and have a look at this oil rig a bit closer up. There we go. Now, well, that's really bright, isn't it? I wonder what those white lights are. Oh, they could be ladders, actually. I reckon... What's that? I said just... What is that? Oh, it's a star. Just wondering what that was. I thought it was a raindrop going upwards. Anyway, the green lights, I think, are a helipad. So that's where helicopters are going to land. I believe, yeah, the white lights are probably ladders or catwalks or something, because I think I can see that. And then the red ones, well, they're tops of cranes and stuff like that. So, oh, there we go. There's another light, and that's a star as well. I can't quite make out the oil purchasing crane just yet, but I know that... Oh, there it is. I think that's it there, guys. I don't know if you can see that on YouTube, but hopefully you can. But, yeah, I think that's it. It must be. So, I guess we're going to head over to the right a bit. Let's just turn the bow over there. I'm just turning right now. Starboard side. And, yeah, it doesn't really matter. We can always circle round it, can't we? But I reckon that's the right location anyway. It's been a while since we did anything at the night time, actually, in Stormworks. I think on one of my early episodes of Season 2, this season, we did a nighttime mission in the Wolverine, didn't we, guys? Which, by the way, I have actually done some work on the Wolverine. I was going to put a modular engine in it, but I don't know, I just wasn't happy with it in the end, so I decided not to carry on with it for now. But we can always bring that back in the future if we want to. Okay, now over here, we've actually got... Now, this is pretty cool. I spent ages on this as well, because I found some problems with it. But this here is an anti-flood system, okay? So now I've sectioned off certain areas under, like in the hull of the boat, and I'll show you that later. We're getting a bit close to the rig now, so I'll show you later. But basically, we have a section at the bow, B for bow, midships, and then the stern as well, okay? And each section is kind of sealed off from the other one. And then also in each one, we have pumps to kick out water if we need to outside the hull. So if we get any water at all in the hull, or any other kind of fluid, this warning light will start flashing, the buzzer will start buzzing as well, and we can see how much fluid on these gauges here for each separate section. And then also this switch basically turns the pumps on so we can expel water out the sides of the boat. That's pretty cool. That could actually save us. And you know, all we have to do is leave those pumps on while we actually go down there and repair the hull with our tools, our welding torches and stuff like that. So we won't have to leave these on forever. But yeah, that's really handy. That could literally save us out here. What's the time then? It is, okay, nearly 10:30 in the evening. It's not as late as I thought, actually. I thought it's a bit past 12 by now. Anyway, guys, unfortunately, that's all we've got time for in today's video. But don't worry, because the adventure will continue into the next one as well. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.